Hello, everyone. Here we are. We're live. And I'm Jay Skinner with PDT Associates, and just kind of jumped on a minute here or so early and give everyone a chance to hop on. I want to encourage everyone to say hi, leave your comments, and I'll be communicating with you as well. So the topic is being simply irresistible. So it sounds like so much fun. Why don't we just have some fun here? How about that? There we go. All right. I know when I came up with that title, I thought that song just kept going through my head and through my head and through my head. It was too fun. So I hope you enjoyed that. It makes me want to just keep jamming. How about that? Anyway, it goes back to 1988, and the artist is Robert Palmer. Anyway, here's the dilemma, and here's what we're here to talk about. By the way, just so you'll know what you're dealing with here, my camera's right here, and I have a screen here, and then I have a screen here, and I have a screen here, and then sometimes I even have a screen over here. So lots of things going on. Anyway, the whole idea here is you're a business owner or you're in sales for a business, and it's just not the good old days anymore. I mean, I don't even have to tell you that. And you're seeing that the middle is shrinking. We're living in a polarized business environment where some companies are just, quite frankly, overbooked. I mean, you may be one of those. Fantastic. I'm glad you're here. This is great. And you just can't take any more business. Now, if you're in that situation and you're in the sales situation, you know you have to continue really getting more business, and you're going to be finding out about your production capabilities and growing that. Of course, that's what you do. And you don't want to send people away. Of course you don't. And so you may have a little bit longer lead times. So what I suggest that you say when that happens is something to the effect of, Mr. Prospect, we're in a fortunate oversold situation. And then go ahead and explain whatever your lead times are. And then, quite frankly, if they want to buy from the guy who's got plenty of inventory, then makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now, a lot of times I'll take the guy in the fortunate oversold situation because obviously there's something special about his products and services. And I'll tell you what, I didn't invent that. That was, and I can't tell you the guy, it was a speaker from many, many years ago that I listened to in a seminar. Anyway, then there's others that are suffering greatly, and you may be in that situation too. And maybe that's why we're talking right now. And what I'm asking you to do is to think about wrapping your arms around your target markets and your customers so that you have incredible share of mind in these target markets. And this can happen in a relatively short period of time. And one of the other things that I talk to people about is it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to do this. In fact, much of what you need to do in order to be successful here is free. It's just plain free. I'm going to take this off the screen right now. Boom, there we go. Don't need that. By the way, if you have comments, please put them in. I should be able to see them and reply to you live. And if I can't, we'll connect afterwards. But love to see your comments. Tell me who you are, where you're from. It'd be fantastic. So now back to this. How do we take care of this problem? Well, one thing is, and if you read some of the pre-stuff that came with this this live, my promotion, I talked about the weekly meetings and the excuses that people make about the markets and the economy and the Chinese and the politics and whatever else there is. And I'm sure that all affects things. But the bottom line is, I love it when a vice president of sales or sales manager sits there and says, well, boss, It's obviously just insufficient prospecting, presenting, and closing. What? Take personal responsibility. Maybe you're just going to have to do more in these times. But we also know that cold calling is dead. That doesn't work. That's silly. There are ways to draw and attract people to you. And one of the ways is this fantastic customer experience that makes you attractive. And it doesn't cost anything so often. We know that desperation can be smiled a mile away and it's not attractive. So it's time to review your processes and programs and methods and be sure that they're in step with this century and particularly this past year and what the next years will look like going forward. I mean, really, we talk about firing our customers and things like we don't want to fire our customers. We want to love them. And are you arguing with your customers? Of course, if you're great, there's times when you have to push back. But then are you not ending up with satisfactory resolution to the issue? In other words, they fire you. Well, that's no good. So you push back and you try to find common ground where your expertise is added to them. After all, that's what they're paying you for. And then you come up with a plan of action that's going to move you forward. Now, so much about customer retention and customer acquisition is free. One of the things is we need to follow the platinum rule. And if any of you know, I talk about my mentor and friend, Dr. Tony Alessandra, who back in the 80s, I read his book, Non-Manipulative Selling. And it took me through a lot of behavioral things, a lot of stuff about the reaction and interaction with people. It was fantastic and life-changing. And one of the things that he followed with later on was called the platinum rule. And the platinum rule, I think I may have it up here on the screen here. I want to share it with you if I can. Right here, share the screen. You can see, if you can see it okay, hold on just a second. Let me share this screen. Right there. And that looks good. And I'm kind of looking over at the screen here. But this is Dr. Tony's site. And you can see right here, it's called the Platinum Rule. And he's the father of this. And he's also involved in lots of stuff. And he's one of the fathers of the DISC system too as well. And the trick on the Platinum Rule is this. Treat others the way they want to be treated. Aha. And I will often say is that do unto others as they want to be done unto you. See, you need to fix the easy stuff and treat those people just exactly the way they want to be treated. Make the customer experience so good that your current customers want to stay and your new ones want to stay. Honestly evaluate what happens when the phone is answered and someone comes in the office or you make a delivery or anything or anywhere you touch the customer. Is it wonderful? Are people smiling? Or do they see you as indifferent? Now, maybe you don't have anyone else in the company to talk to you like this, but if that's the case, let's talk. What prevents us from bringing the team together and talking about how we want our customers to be absolutely delighted? And I want to thank my friend Mike Harrison for that. He's done some tremendous things for me. And I just got a little note here that said something about echo. I hope the echo is gone. Right now, it's maybe a little late for me to do any adjustments. So I hope the echo is gone. There we go. Yeah, someone was streaming through multiple platforms at the same time. That's where their echo was. So we're good. Want to thank you guys for that. I got to tell you that some of my friends here, like Ron and others here that I know are on here, are really wonderful. And I appreciate your support and I appreciate you coming on. And Ron, I'm glad you like the golden rule too. Do unto others as you want to be done unto. And that's from the Bible. So we know about that. And I might as well say that I have a silver rule, and this is for business owners. And I heard that Plato or someone might have come up with a similar version of it. It's do unto your vendors as you want your customers to do unto you. And I'll call that the silver rule. Do unto your vendors like you want your customers to do unto you. Now, without going down another rabbit hole, we are still talking about customer acquisition and retention and treating our people like gold. Now, do you want your customers to be absolutely delighted? If you do, show it. It needs to be on your face, for sure. And if you have some team members that are like sourpusses and, we don't really, they talk about their attitude or whatever. It's so obvious. And for some reason, they can't get a hold of this, then you're just going to, if they can't deliver the kind of joy that, needs to be there, then you're going to have to get them out of touch with your customers. I mean, get them away from the customers, period. Now I also had someone tell me the other day, well, how do you teach it? I don't know how to teach people to be great with the customers and to be joyful and happy and fun. And I say, all I know is it's about making it the goal. That's really what I know. And by the way, I really want you guys to keep commenting here. This is fantastic. Stuart Kimball, thank you, from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Fantastic. So glad you showed up here. As I'm looking away here, I'm looking at the screen with your stuff on it. You bet the golden rule always works. It sure does. Thanks for coming by. And Chris, you've checked out the echo and everything's fine. I'm glad I sound great on that. So that's good. Anyway, if some of you came in late at the beginning, if you want to hear, you might have heard I play a little keyboard, and we do have some fun here. And I was playing Simply Irresistible and jamming on that. So you can go to the replay and check that out if you'd like to. Anyway, so how do you teach this front-facing, fantastic, make your customers happy and want to be with you thing? Well, first of all, you need to talk about it in the office, and you need to talk about it online. You need to talk about it with everyone and make it a public thing that you intend for all the customers to be absolutely delighted. Exactly. And as far as the people in your organization, teaching it to them is you just keep talking it, and you have weekly meetings and you talk about things and make sure this is a topic and that they know this is the goal. I can tell you that if you keep your eyes on the goal and you look ahead, you can step out of the boat and walk on water. It's been done before. And then when you take your eyes off of it, you go down, good news is you'll get pulled out and put back in the boat. But if you put that goal out there and point everyone to it, great things can happen. And that goes for how your customers perceive you and others in your organization. Now, this has been figured out by a lot of people. Think about Disney, the customer experience, Amazon. I love it. You press and click and do all this stuff and buy things. It's so much fun. They've made it wonderful. I don't dare say the word Alexa, because if I do, she's going to start talking to me. Or, hey, Siri. Ha, how cool is that? What about the Little Giant Ladder Company? Here recently, I just got to know some of the people from that. With my association with Jeffrey Gittimer, which is a great new friendship that I've had with him. He's taught me about Go Live. But these are companies that do fantastic things with their customers. Now, make it so interesting and nice that the people just want to buy. Have you ever been to some place where the salesperson and the business was so nice, you're trying to figure out a way to give them money? That's what you want there. keep the goal out there. You make it very public. Make it so interesting and nice that you're simply irresistible. Why does this seem so obvious, but it's hard to do? Now, you're the business owner, you're the sales manager, I don't care, whatever it is. You all need to be working together. Everybody needs to talk to one another. If you're finding yourself going back and grousing about things that aren't quite right, it's time to talk to the boss. Walk through and observe the processes. See if people are having fun and working with their customers to achieve shared goals. In today's environment, you need to be sure you're respecting the wishes of your customers. It's fairly obvious you care about your customers and your employees, or is it? Can they tell? You know, there's a word in business called churn, and that's about that revolving door. And the customer's going out the door and the new one's coming in, and what the churn looks like. It's terrible. You don't want churn. You want it all coming in and growing and going. Minimal churn. If you've got people going out the door, find out why they left. See if you can get them back. How many times you left a customer, and if they just had called and said, "Why did you leave? What's wrong?" you'd have probably come back. Are you listening to your salespeople? You know, salespeople, are you being reasonable about what's needed? Now, that's another thing. And when you're, thank you, Chris. I'm glad you like it. There you go. I appreciate it. There's Queso Blanco, my friend. Good, great advice, Jay. Thank you. Glad you like it. Glad you're here. Thank you for supporting. There's people from all over. I really appreciate everyone coming. So here we go. We don't want churn. I want to make sure your customers are showing up and your prospects and customers are hanging out with you. Well, you've got to be where they are because they're not all just coming to you. Do you know the social media that they're touching? Well, I got to say, I don't know all the social media everywhere that everybody is at any given time or where my target market is hanging out all the time. So you really got to hit it all. And that's what we're doing here, multiple platforms. A multi-platform approach is good because some people like Instagram, some people like Twitter, some people like Facebook, some people like LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is probably one of my biggest areas, and in order to get on that live, I've made an application. I'm hoping within a couple weeks that I'll be accepted. YouTube is another one, but you go live and you get yourself out there where people can see you. These are all very inexpensive things you can do to get your message in front of potential customers and see what's going on and help them see what's going on with you and get to know you without having to, quote, walk in your store or even have interaction. I know that there's thousands of people watching our weekly broadcast here every Friday morning at 10:35, Buyers and Sellers, PDT Associates with Jay Skinner. And we're having some fun, playing the piano and talking, and it's 30 minutes up or down max. I'm not going to keep you any longer. And we're talking to people, and I'd really like someone else, if there's people here that would like to make a comment, have some ideas, please make a comment. And if you make one, it doesn't show up, contact me somehow through messaging or something if the medium through which you're watching this didn't connect, because I'm using a program called StreamYard here, StreamYard.com. Let me recommend it. It's the way that you can be on all these platforms at once and do all these cool things like these banners. And I do want you to know that if you want to talk to me about anything offline, here's a way to get a hold of me, wjayskinner@aol.com. And you can go to my website and contact me there. Or you could just call my number and it's, get a hold of me. And if you look hard enough, you'll find that. And at the same time, I'm very available. It's 317-922-7526. I'm really very available. 317-922-7526. And I'd love to talk to you. You can send me a text or whatever you like. Everyone, I want you to be simply irresistible to your customers. And let's check here, see if I've got any more comments that have come up on my screen. And I want to thank those of you from literally across the country and around the world that are joining me. It's interesting that After this broadcast, cool things begin to happen, and I see literally thousands of views, and it's go, wow, how fun is that? And uh, a lot of people get on it, and gee, why don't we just play it out with the same thing we came in with? Take a minute. Is there any other comments? I want to say thank you again so much for coming by and being here and enjoying. I really enjoyed our time together. Looking forward to doing it again next Friday. Share this with your friends. Share this with people in business that might be interested to get better at it, attract more people, and be simply irresistible to your clientele. It can be fun. See if this works again, how this will go. Boom. Oh yeah, thank you for coming. Buyers and Sellers with PDT Associates. And I'm Jay Skinner. See you next Friday. Yeah, thanks for coming.